I don't think that I have ever managed to have a conversation with a conservative person about politics where they were completely acting in good faith. Like, you can have that conversation about work, about life, about school, about whatever, but conservative people trying to talk about politics, literally in every conversation, they will make something up. Like, just not a difference of an opinion or something like whole cloth, just invent a thing that doesn't exist and then derail the entire conversation, sabotage the entire conversation by saying, no, we have to spend the next half hour proving to me that this thing I made up doesn't is actually made up, which you can't prove. You can't prove negative. Kids peeing in a litter box, DEI programs like making planes fall out of the sky, stuff about immigration and how illegal immigration. And I mean, like, literally, it's not up for debate. It's not an opinion. Like, the Department of Homeland Security is going to know more than anyone else, right? So if you are disagreeing with the Department of Homeland Security's own information about the Department of Homeland Security, then you have to be pointing to somebody who's bigger than them, and it doesn't exist. So, like, you can doubt the number, but you can't claim a different number, right? Like just stuff that makes no fucking sense. And I was racking my brain about this, trying to think of, like, have I ever had a political discussion with a conservative where they were being honest the entire time? And I could come up with one, which was Leo Ames. Leo, I don't know where you are anymore. I went to high school with Leo Ames. He was a rural hillbilly Catholic boy, like 90s hillbilly Catholic, like the type of family that, like, probably somebody tried to shoot an abortion doctor type of family. Uh, and, like, starting when I was like 15 or whatever, he sat at the lunch table that I sat at every day of, like, nerd kids who did not enjoy being popular, right? And he would have conversations with me about biblical literacy and abortion, biblical, like reading the Bible literally, and abortion and stuff like that. And he would make up shit, uh, and I would call him out on it, and he would go, "Yeah, yeah, maybe," you know, like, he knew it was bullshit, but he knew he had to, like, say the bullshit in order to stay in that in group, like, as loyalty proof to, like, whatever in group he thought, Jesus was watching, or maybe his mom or something like that. But he always had, like, a funny smirk and a laugh, and he'd never doubled down on stuff, and he and it was fun. Like, he and I, like, got in big arguments about stuff, but we had fun doing it. Like, we were laughing the entire time. And I was trying to think, like, what was different? And it could be that it was a different time, 90s or whatever. But I think it was also that we were 15, 16, 17, and it was all just ideas. It was all, like, hypothetical shit. Like, we hadn't really lived through anything. Like, we didn't know anybody who was suffering. We had never really suffered. We had never felt pressure. We had never made big mistakes. Uh, and so there was no stakes to it. It was just kind of like shadow boxing about identity and family identity and that sort of stuff. And I I don't know if that realizing that made me less nostalgic for it, because it was like they were very cordial and fun. They were like fun conversations, but I'm realizing now that they're kind of just bullshit conversations, which is fine. Like, when you're a teenager, you're a bullshitter because you're just, like, test driving out a personality, and you're test driving out some beliefs, and you're test driving out stuff. You haven't really fully become what you are. Um, so I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I don't know if, like, Leo Ames and I would get along anymore. Like, if I met him now, because they're not just like sparring for a game. Like now like we're playing for keeps, playing the real thing. He might make up some shit in the middle of the conversation, and I call him out on it, and he get mad this time. Living is fucking weird, bro.